Hello everyone. Today I am having a dynamic personality and vice president of RAGC-Mumbai, Mr. Kavi. So, how are you, sir?
Fine.
Now we are going to start our interview, and the first question is, why do you like to be in an educational sector rather than anything else?
All right. If you're looking at personally me, I have been into education since '86, and one of the reasons why I am into education sector is because my father was into the education sector, and including my grandparents. So it was a very natural instinct of mine to come into the education world, and therefore it came as just a natural thing. And today, I am working almost since 33 to 34 years into the education.
Oh, so nice, sir. And being in such a good position in educational sector, so can you just say something about your leadership skills?
Leadership is something which evolves, and it's nothing which comes and by way of reading Peter Drucker or any such books which can teach you leadership. While it gives you certain concepts, but it's more about evolving while you're experiencing the world around you. So I personally believe that it's about the vision. Leadership is more about the vision and the drive, and how do you drive that vision altogether. So how do you get the team along? How do you evaluate or analyze the strength and weakness of each, and to make progress at each step level? And I personally is from the more an action-oriented leadership, where it's more about rising to the occasion and lead by example. That's what I believe that my leadership skills is more on getting things done by motivating, by enrolling, by creating ownership to each of the team members.
Nice, great. So, can you just say something about the establishment idea of your esteemed organization or initiative behind this organization?
When we said about Rustam Ji Academy for Global Careers, it started way back in December 2007, where an article had come about the Skill India part of it, and the government at that stage wanted to look at Skill India as a different platform, and looking at the present population, and we were in the what do we call it, as the advantages towards the entire world of the population which we have. And so having this common understanding between the management of the Rustam Ji Group and us, and me particularly, we came to a consensus that we want to start something on vocational education and skill training. So the idea behind was, at that stage, was to make India a capital of a skilled manpower. Now, we had this idea when there was no NSDC, there was no Skill India mission at that particular junction of time. And it was more about ITIs and how an ITI can get this type of thing to this vision and this objective. So hence, while we had the blue collar part of it in the ITI perspective, and we had the engineering students at the white collar perspective, we wanted to create a generation of supervisors and a foremen. And that's how we developed our brand into making this institute of ours, that is Rustam Ji Academy for Global Careers, in creating these supervisors for the industry, where the engineers, what they want from coming out of the labor is we connect those dots. So this institute is in completely right now, till now also producing those supervisors at various industries. And we are also into giving a natural progression to the students from certificate to a diploma to a degree. So when I'm saying the diploma students can be working as a supervisor, and while the degree students can then become involved to be managers and so we are one way reducing people at the assistant level of supervisors to a supervisor to a manager. So that's the entire generation which we are in this particular issue.
So overall initiative is like to produce a skilled Indian youth.
I couldn't get your question.
The overall initiative was like to produce a skilled Indian youth, right?
Correct.
Okay, so another question is, what are your thoughts about the education system of India?
In the present form, the generations which are coming out is more theoretical. It's more on rote learning, and it is not focused towards the application towards the industry. So whether you are talking of an engineer, whether you're talking of a management student, or you're talking of a normal graduate coming out of a BA, BCom, BSc background, the application of these students were hardly anything there. Vocational education has given that perspective to the students' community, and where we tie up with the industry to run such type of programs, which could be based on the job training, which could be based on internship, which could be based on apprenticeship. My understanding to this education system is basically that it has to move towards the new thinking of how to apply this knowledge into the real world scenario. But today it is not happening, and more of the students who are coming out right now, even at the I'm seeing at the preschool level or even at the school level, it's more on the understanding of to be successful in life rather than being successful in the career choice which they have.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. So the another question is, can you just explain the role of administration in a growth of institutes and students?
Administration, if I have to look at, is when I'm looking at administration, it has got 2-3 levels of thinking about it. One is administration at the institute level, where it becomes a support factor to the students and the faculty and the institution level. When I'm talking of administration for a better future of students and an institute, is basically to look at it whether we can administer their career in such a way that there's a growth at each level of how they move in the future. And when I look at the administration at the career angle from the perspective of them doing post their qualification, it's about the right move in the right industry at the right position. So administration at the P4 level, it's at the school level, or the institute level, how we can evolve the child, how the support comes into them, and then second is how they can move at each level of their qualification, and then at the end of it, how they can move with each career. So we have come across students, or I have personally also come across students who are little who have finished their qualification, but they are not clear about their career and is this the life they want to go or don't want to go. And at that junction of time, even the students come back for counseling, they come back for us for support, they come back to us to understand whether they are the right frame, right career, and want to change their career, or they want to take up any course which can help them in their enhancing their career. So administration has got all the 3 levels of.
Exactly, sir. Very good. So another question is, being in such a good position, there should be obviously you have worked very hard. So what is the source of your motivation, or is there any ideal person in your life?
Yes, if you say from my earlier life, it was my father definitely. But as we move on, and we are being in this line, so I've come across various educationists and academicians, which has been a part of my source of understanding education much more differently. Like I had Professor Mankad, who was one of the very senior-most strategic professor who made me understand about this, Dr. Anita Madhu. These were the educationist people who really helped me in understanding education as a role from the academic perspective. While as a successful leader and perspective is definitely I looked upon various successful businessmen, including my right now management, Mr. Baman Irani and Mr. Percy Chaudhary, who I looked upon as a guide and a mentor to my present career.
Okay. So how do you see an effect of COVID-19 pandemic on the education sector?
it's a it's not a good effect which I look at it, because I feel the students are now more of focused towards a room and a computer or a mobile or a laptop, which I feel is not what a student should do. So it's going to spoil the entire genre of students who are going to come out after this 1 year of online education. Because a student is not, a personality is not developed by the one room or one laptop. It's much more than that. So it's going to have a very, very serious effect on the health and the understanding of teams work, which normally a student also goes through when he is in his classroom. The listening skills and observing skills also will go down by quite a bit in this COVID time. The student is not focusing on what's happening around them. It's only focused towards the laptop. So it's affecting them because they're not able to play. It's going to be affected on the physical aspect of it also. So if you're looking at the education sector, today, one is if we are as education as meant for a student, it's going to affect the student. More so reason with the education sector per se, it's going to affect it with respect to that the students who will be coming out of this program and students who will be coming out of the perspective of it will not be that bright or that sharp enough to understand when they go out for a job. So any professional program like management or engineers or are like vocational, it's going to make a difference to them. So the practicals won't be there, their project works will be affected because they are not able to interface with the companies are not able to give them that type of learnings, etc. It's going to be a very big effect to the education sector. And especially if you look at the present, it's the first time in the 33 years of mine that education sector itself is also going down quite a bit with respect to economic conditions of each institute, engineering colleges, diploma, management students. There are a lot of vacancies right now which is happening at the various institute level. It's going to affect them quite a bit. In fact, the latest article which I read yesterday or day before yesterday, that the coaching classes which are getting closed also are selling the benches and tables in order to survive. It's going to be a bad thing. And we hope that it comes out better next year.
So you mean online education is not as efficient as a classroom or a practical education?
Not efficient education. For a particular level of a program, like upgradation of a program, like digital marketing, I want to learn, or I want to learn something on a particular level of theoretical understanding of a subject, online is good. But when it comes to our division, which we're talking about vocational education, no.
Okay. So what do you think, what are the key challenges for your institute in the upcoming time?
RAGC as per se is one of the only institute and a leader in vocational education space. And if I have to say that we are doing quite a good in this space, and we have various offerings for the student, right from normal vocational and the skill space, along with even the what is that called, the internship model, the apprenticeship schemes model. We have got various offerings to the students who want to join us at this stage or at the future. In fact, we have a very beautiful program called Alpha Degree, which is called an advanced learning platform for higher achievement, which is a student can join us at a degree level program and yet do a 2 years of internship or apprenticeship with any company while pursuing this graduation with us. So the key challenges which I look upon to is when, for us right now, it's only pure when the industry opens out, when the government opens out to let us start the institution and the green lifeline of Mumbai starts. Other than that, I feel being a leader in the space and with the industry connect with almost 3,000 companies and industries which we are tied up with, we will not face a challenge once these things comes up. Yes, there is going to be with the new education policy which is coming up, which is already in now space, which has already come out in a theoretical perspective, which is going to be implemented in the next 1 year, 2 years. But we stand advantage there because in the new education policy, the vocational skill is going to start from grade 6 onwards. It's going to be more of a matter of choice for the students, and even the education pattern, the assessment pattern is going to change. So with us, with having the international pathway of our vocational education, we have the Indian pathway. I feel we have a much more better advantage than any other players in the market.
Okay. So, is there any suggestion of a book or novel for youth of India?
There are many such novels. It depends on what they want to read. But I personally always believe in reading success stories, which is more motivational and which has more depth and which has more positive thinking about it. So I always recommend autobiography of people to read to any of the students who are wanting to read such type of books. Like it could be the Nike, how the Nike shoes came into being and how did it progress. Maybe Made in Sony, how the Sony came into thing. Maybe Jack Welch's autobiography, They Call Me Ted. All these type of books which is there, I feel those are the books which should be indulging more in understanding how, even at struggling times, how they've worked out and they came through as a good leader.
Nice. So, as we know, students set the goals, but in a real life, they can't follow it in a proper manner. So, can we just know the goal setting process, and can you just outline the process of goal setting?
I didn't get this question. Can you repeat it?
Okay. So, how do you set your goals? Can you just outline the process?
Okay, goals as in it's not my goal, it's basically the company's goal which is more important. And I think so if I achieve the larger goals of the company, automatically individuals at the ground level all achieve their goals. Because if the company prospers, all the people will prosper. And that's the culture and that's the type of positive which needs to flow from top to down. So personally, I look at it that the goal of the company is important is in the present COVID time is to be sustained. How do we sustain in the present environment in order to understand that there is a future which is going to grow? While we're doing the sustenance of the present time, the future important goal would be is what are the capacity building exercises which we can do so that when the market opens, we already are ready for the market. So the process for me is always to look at the far end of the milestone which we need to achieve and then move backwards. What are the steps we need to do? So I personally believe in never to say a word no. What my question always comes out is what is the possibility to do it? So once you use this statement, what is the possibility to do it? Automatically you get all the steps which needs to be taken up to achieve that.
Okay, so this was the last questions, and now we are going to end our interview.